What's going on there, guys? PK here. Welcome to another episode. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can catch surf perch with Powerbait. Just the regular mice tail Powerbait that people use to catch trout with. And you can actually use it to catch surf perch. And I've done it many times. They work pretty good. The reason I don't show it much in my surf fishing videos, is because I normally use the gulp shrimp and the sand shrimp. So, but the mice tails do work really well. These ones right here. Now the Berkeley mice tails, they come in various sizes, various colors. There's many different schemes. Chartreuse tail, orange head, and orange tail, white head, and then brown tail, red head. So, and there's like a few more different variations. So these are the bait we're going to use to catch a surf perch. And there's one other bait that I use that also works really well for surf fishing. These Berkeley minnows. So all these bait, all they do is they just imitate the natural food that they feed on, guys, which is the sand crabs, okay? So that's why these are very effective, okay? So the rig I use, it's the same rig. It's the high-low rig. Okay, so here's how you tie that dropper loop. This is your leader line. You bring it together like that, and you want to make sure this loop is kind of short, because if it's too long, what happens is this tends to get wrapped up with your other hooks, or wraps up around the line. So I keep it probably about 3 inches. Okay, so bring it together like that, and then you're basically going to twist the top loops, the top 2 lines together like that. All right, now you made that little hole right there. So you're going to bring that bottom loop right through that hole. Okay, just like that. Now here you want to kind of somehow keep tension on that top loop right here, because if you don't and you pull on the bottom 2 line, it's just going to slip. So you have to keep tension on that loop. It's very important. So while you're cinching the bottom 2 loop, keep that top loop tight, and then kind of pull it together. And once right about here, like, you tend to pull these 2 lines apart, right? Which sometime if you do that, and then the loop right here, I know it's kind of hard to see, but that one on the left right here, my left, see how it's kind of loose? If you pull it, it's going to come right out. That loop's going to come right out. So what you want to make sure is you pull on that top loop and just kind of tighten it a little bit more, okay, before you tighten the 2 lines down here. All right, so that's what it's going to look like, just like that. So that's a really good dropper loop right there. So the key is, once you pass that loop through the hole, keep that loop tight. Okay, put tension on it, and make sure you pull on that top loop to cinch up any loose ends down here around that knot. All right, so that is key for the dropper loop. Now to put the hook on here, I use a number 4 or number 2 Gamakatsu bait holder hooks. You have to pinch that loop, make it kind of sharp, as sharp as you can. Pinch it so that it can go through the eye of the hook. Now sometimes, depending on the size of your line you're using, it's really hard to pass that loop, the double loop, through the eye. So what you can do is you can put a hook on the line, on the leader, before you tie the loop. And let me show you how to do that really quick. Okay, so here is my number 2 hook. I'm not sure you can see that. You're going to pass that line right through the eye, just like that. Okay, so now there is your hook, and then you're going to tie that same dropper loop. So go double that up, twist the top 2, and we'll keep it like that. Okay, so we'll just go about 4 turns. All right, so there is that same loop you made with a hole, and then the bottom loop. So you're going to pass that hook and that loop right through that top hole, just like that. All right, so now the hook and the loop is through that hole. So this can go south really easy. So we got to be careful. All right. So pull on that top loop. Kind of keep it tight. And then cinch that up. Now you see how when you cinch it up, there's a loop right here. So you want to make sure you tighten that up. So pull on the corresponding line down here to tighten up that loop. Cinch up that knot. And there it is. All right. So there, you don't have to worry about passing that double loop through the eye because, well, now you got your hook on here because you put on the hook before you tie the loop. So that is one way to, take out the frustration of trying to squeeze that line right through that eye, that tiny eye. And the Gamakatsu, they tend to have a pretty small eye. I don't know why they do that compared to, like, say, Eagle Claw. But anyways, there is your dropper loop, okay? Okay, so let's talk about hook sizes. I use 2 hook sizes, usually 2. Number 2 bait holder hooks, and where's my number 4? And my number 4 bait holder hooks. So which one do you use? It depends on what bait I'm using. If I am using shrimp, the gulp shrimp, I'm using a number 2 hook. And if I'm using sandworms, I don't have my sandworm here with me. The gulp sandworm, I use a number 4. And the reason is the gulp sandworm has a thinner profile than the sand shrimp. Wait, did I say that right? The sand shrimp has a thinner profile than the shrimp. Hold on, one more time. The sandworms have a thinner profile than the shrimp. Okay, so these are the shrimp. As you can see, they're a little bit bigger. Let me get the sandworms. Okay, so these are the sandworms, all right? And if you look at the gulp shrimp, the sandworms have a smaller profile than the shrimp. So when you have a smaller bait with a smaller profile, you want to use the smaller hooks. So basically, you match the size of the hook to the size of the bait. Okay, so because it'd be kind of weird to put like a number 2 hook on a sandworm because the hook is just too big, it sticks out too far. So it just doesn't work very well. So if you're using sandworms, use a number 4 hook. And if you're using shrimp, use a number 2 hook. Also, these sandworms, they are exactly 2 inches. And the shrimp, they're not 2 inches, they're more like 2 1/4 inch. I measure them, they are 2 1/4 inch. And they're rounder, and they're a little bigger than the sandworms. Okay, so that's why I use a number 2 hook with a shrimp. Okay, so, okay, the Berkeley Gulp minnows. These work really good for surf fishing. And for these, you want to use a number 4 bait hula hook, number 4. Now, if you use a number 4 and you're getting hits and you're not landing them, switch up to a number 2. But normally, I use a number 4 and it works fine, catches a lot of fish. This particular Berkeley minnow, it has a sparkle on it. Okay, and the color is a black shad. And these are the 2 inch, and they come 18 per pack. I don't know how much they are. I think they're about $5, okay, depending on where you buy them. Now for the mice tails, I don't really know which color works best. I switch colors a lot, and they all seem to catch surf perch. So you can experiment and see which ones they work. They go about $5 per pack, and these have 13, okay? And when you guys are threading these onto the hook, you want to make sure you cover the eye, the hook eye, with, you want to shove the hook eye right through the head there, okay? So you don't want to expose the hook eye. You want to shove it right through, cover it, all right? So it just looks more natural. And when you're using the hooks for surf fishing, you always want to use the bait holder hooks. The reason is they have 2 little barbs on the shank and they kind of point up, so that way when the fish bite on your lure, bite on your bait, those two barbs tend to keep the bait on your hook much better. Okay, so you always want to use the bait holder hooks. And for the weight size, I use a 2 ounce and a swivel at the bottom of the dropper loop. Okay, so bottom of the high-low rig. And another question people ask is like, where do you cast? It's pretty simple, guys. Just cast out into the surf. You want a fan cast when you're standing. Let's say you're facing the ocean. You want a fan cast, which is like 45-degree to your left and 45-degree to your right. So anywhere between that cone, that is a good spot. It doesn't really matter where. Just cast within, just within your peripheral vision. You're gonna do pretty good. And you don't have to cast like wing it out really far. Try to cast as far as you can, because those fish are not very far out from you. They're pretty in a close range, maybe 20 to 30 feet. Okay, they're right in that white sud where the waves are crashing. All right, so let's go see how to catch these surf perch with the Berkley mice tails.
All right, there we go, guys. First cast. Oh, there we go. Oh, I had one. I had one on. Shoot, I lost it. Well, it's kind of slow. I had a hit earlier. Oh, fish on, guys. Fish on. Woo! I switched to the Berkley minnow. Holy smokes. First cast on a new bait. Yeah, baby. This rod and reel is broken in. Woo, yeah, he's a big one. Big one. Wow, first cast. There we go. Nice looking perch. Oh, look at that. Nice perch. Here we go, guys. First fish. I switched to the Berkley minnow and I got this guy right away. I'm not kidding. Right as it landed, he took it. So look at that, nice fish. And there it is. Berkley minnow right there. Let's let him go. Okay, there you go, buddy. Go home. That was a male too. So yeah, this rod and reel's broken in, I'd say. Oh, there's a hit. Man, I missed a good bite. Dang it. My line was had too much slack in it. I couldn't set the hook. This rod feels very similar to my main rod, the Tourney Trail. It casts really well and it handles a 2 ounce without any problem at all. Just like the Tourney Trail. The only difference is this Akuma has a slightly shorter butt and it's about 3 inches shorter, but it handles very similar. I like the fact that you can use a 3 ounce if you prefer, and I'm using a 2 ounce right now because that's what I fish with. It's I've been using a 2 ounce for many years now. It works really well, but you know, if you want to use a 3 ounce, this rod can handle it. Oh, fish on, there we go. Right by the seal. Oh my goodness, man. 2 big seals in front of me. You know, people say when there's a seal, you gotta move away. No, that's not true. Because the seals, they follow these schools. Oh, is he, wait. Oh yeah, still got him. He's a little guy, not very big. Doesn't feel very big. Just a little one. Oh yeah, there we go. You know what? I might keep this guy. That's a male. I'm gonna keep him. All right, guys, there we go. Fish number 2 on the Berkeley minnow. So he's a perfect size for the frying pan. I'm gonna keep him. And when I keep him, I am going to knock him out so they don't suffer when they're out here, out from the water. They can't breathe and they suffer a lot. So you just want to make sure you put them out of their misery, because right now they're choking, they're gasping for air. To put them out, all you got to do is just hit them on the head several times, and that's about all you need to do. I don't have a knife with me, so I can't bleed them. Got a bag though. Got my Winco bag right here. Try to catch maybe 2 more would be nice. See, I caught that one right by the seal. There's a seal in front of me about 40-50 feet. Him and his buddy. And that's where I cast. Right to the seal. And I'm not casting like winging it as hard as I can. I'm just kind of casting it normally. Oh, look at that sun. Look at that sunlight hitting the water. It's golden. Look at that. Okay guys, I'm gonna switch bait. These are the, this is what I'm catching the perch on. The Powerbait. They're a black shad minnow, 2-inch. So I'm gonna switch and I'm gonna try the mice tails. I caught them on the mice tails many years ago. Try it one more time. Orange whitehead. Okay, that's what they look like. Mice tails. They work really great for stock trout. Now let's see if they work for surf perch. And like I said before, I've caught a lot of surf perch with them before. Hopefully that stays true today. It's slowing down because the tide is going down. Usually this place works. This place is really good during like a high tide, but it's going back down, and I think they're moving out with the tide. And when it comes to surf fishing, the key, the main key, the number 1 key is the tide. Find that tide and you will find the fish. Okay, there we go. Oh, fish on, look at that. Woo! There we go, guys. First cast on the Powerbait. Mice tail. Feels like a really good one. Wow, man. Just like right as it landed. Oh, it came off. Shoot. Oh, no, it didn't. It's still on there. Right as the bait landed, man, he took it. I guess this shows you, keep telling you guys, gotta switch up that bait. He's a little guy, but you know what? He is perfect for the frying pan. Oh, look at that. Look at that on the mice tail. Yeah. That's a little one though. That's a female. Kind of small. Kind of small. We'll let her go. Pretty fish. Really, really pretty looking. There she goes. Boom. That was cool. That was really cool. First cast. Can we get it back to back? Let's try it out. Let's try it out. Okay, no takers. I'm gonna move a little bit to my left. I'm gonna move about 60, 70 feet to my left. Okay, there we go. I move about 70 feet from my other spot. Let's try here. There we go. Had a hit. Oh, there's one. There we go. Oh, I had it. Dang it. Dang it. Come on, buddy. One more time. Another hit. They are liking it. 2 hits. Well, actually 3. Shoot. Okay, one more cast. It's probably a little guy. Probably a little guy. All right, guys, that's about it. Short video. I'm gonna head home. Ran out of time. But I will do another Powerbait video soon. Stay tuned. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Have fun fishing. Tight lines.